Welcome back to TFE, a weekly news podcast in which we give our thoughts, feelings, and emotions on the latest gaming, film, tech, streaming, and other random crap we feel like. I'm your host Dan, and I'm joined with you as always by my co-host Danny.
Howdy, how's it going? What a world we live in.
In this week's episode, we talk about the greatest upcoming Marvel movie, just got delayed, the Pope calls you selfish, and color-changing cars. But first off, we're on about rapid reviews, Book of Boba Fett, episode 2.
Yeah, you haven't watched it.
No, I watched the first 10 minutes, and then I got distracted.
Right.
And then I forgot about it.
Well, it's a good thing that these rapid reviews aren't as important as our overall review when we watch it all at the end of its season and then bring it out. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a good episode. It's got action, it's got heart, it's got Boba Fett on a speeder, jumping up and down on it or whatever he's doing, where he's going back and forth. It's all fun.
Yeah, that seems to be the opinion. A lot of people are saying this one's a bit more, gets you a bit more into it.
Yeah. Also, I've seen people hate it, but that's just Star Wars fans, because Star Wars fans don't know what the fuck they want.
Yeah, they hate Boba Fett isn't the greatest killer of all time.
Yeah.
That's the Mandalorian.
He never was in the thing, because it was just a guy who turned up and looked cool. And then all the backstory that they added in the comics, not the movies. If you look at it from the movie perspective, it's just a guy who shows up, looks cool, and then dies by getting his jetpack hit. And then in the prequels, it's just a kid whose dad is cool, and then dies by getting his head chopped off. That is the Star Wars canon. All the other stuff doesn't matter. It's the movies that matter, and the TV shows, and all the comics. Oh my god, it all matters then. Anyway, yeah, Book of Boba Fett episode 2 was good. I enjoyed it. You'll hear more about it when we actually do our full review.
Yes. So now we're going to move on to stream that movie news into my head. There wasn't many trailers this week.
No, not much. Nothing really.
Yeah, but we're going to talk
about
it. Instead, how Marvel movies have accounted for up to 30% of the domestic box office in 2021. So this is just
and do you
US.
want to know a fun fact?
What?
Spider-Man accounted for 12% of that.
Yes. Well, I'm not surprised. Actually,
no, I can't remember if... Yeah. Spider-Man accounted for 12% of the entire global domestic box office.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
I imagine that's a high percentage in Endgame.
For that year, probably, yeah. Because, yeah, what else came out that year? Black Panther?
No, it was Captain Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel, yeah.
Far From Home.
Yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp, right? $1 billion.
No, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
No, Ant-Man and the Wasp came out before Endgame, right?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's what we're on about.
Black Panther came out in 2018.
Yeah, but Endgame's not 2018, it's 2019.
Oh, true. Yeah. What came out? Oh, yeah, Far From Home. Yeah.
I just said that.
Yeah,
I just said this.
Yeah, I know. It was equating it in my brain, yeah. Because I forgot Far From Home was the last Marvel movie till Black Widow.
Insert the math equation meme right here.
But yeah, that's crazy. People say Marvel is killing cinema. I mean, kind of.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, also make better, more appealing movies to more people if you want it. Don't make art house box office bombs that people don't want to go see. Like, you got to kind of balance it a bit. You can't blame people for not going to watch your movie. I get that cinemas don't put enough, like, seating and stuff and don't give them... I think because the Guillermo del Toro movie, I think, had box office, like, screenings taken away so that they could show more screenings of Spider-Man. That I don't agree. Yeah. But I'm just like, eh. And then I think they dumped The Last Duel and something else on Disney+, so... People were like, oh, Marvel's killing cinema. Well, I mean... Or Disney's killing cinema, not Marvel. Or Marvel as well. But I mean, if Marvel was killing cinema, would Black Widow have also lost $600 million due to piracy?
That is true. But that's probably due to the pandemic and first Marvel movie for 2 years.
Yeah, so basically, it was reported... It's not confirmed by Disney, but reportedly 20 million... illegal streams of Black Widow, and at a $30 or 30. How much was it in the UK? Like 30 quid?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they lost a reported $600 million due to that from people just pirating it and not watching it.
So much money. I mean, at the end of the day, Marvel still made money on that film. So.
Yeah, but imagine that extra $600 million they could have made, and think of how much Scarlett Johansson would have been screwed out over that.
That's actually true. I think there's a serious case of Scarlett Johansson lost a lot of money by putting it on Disney Plus.
Well, because she would have got that box office revenue, but because they put it on Disney Plus, and because it was pirated and they didn't get that £30 subscription, plus the subscription fee. Oh, it's all just terrible. I feel so sorry for this billion-dollar corporation that's gouging most markets.
Yeah, but some good news for Marvel. Morbius has been delayed until April.
Yeah, literally, we were like a couple weeks out. We were all prepared. Our schedule was good to go. We'd got it booked in. And then immediately the day after we did that, it was like, oh, no, Morbius is delayed. And we're like, oh, shit, okay. So I've rearranged our schedule, Dan. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
But I was rearranging our schedule. So, but speaking of schedules, I didn't put it in here, but The Boys Season 3 got a release date.
Did it? When is it?
Yeah, it is the 3rd of June.
Okay, I can work with that.
It finishes on my birthday, the last episode. It's only 8 episodes, I think.
You just told everyone your birthday. Congratulations.
So they can figure it out. I already said Spider-Man came out on my the day before my birthday. So if anyone knew the release date of Spider-Man, it's not a secret. I'm sure people have known your birthday.
People don't know my birthday. For all the people know, I might be born in, I don't know, a month that doesn't exist.
October 9th.
Huh?
October 9th.
Yeah, I might be born October 9th. How do I know?
Yeah.
Do you even know my birthday?
Yes.
That was a lie, wasn't it?
No. Why would I not know my co-host's birthday? We're friends. You don't have me held hostage here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Moving on.
Moving on to
do you
DC
buy
news.
the CW?
The CW, the most mediocre broadcasting channel in the world, is up for sale.
Yeah. Do you want to buy it?
No, because it doesn't seem like a very profitable business. They have a free channel that doesn't have any good content on it anymore.
But it had the Flash on it, and the Supergirl, and Arrow, and the Batwoman, and Riverdale, and and Walker. I am reading from these.
Yeah, just stop. But maybe now they might actually make some good content. Send it to HBO.
Well, it's under the Warner Brothers banner, so it would already be a HBO subsidiary. Because all the stuff they just take and put onto the app, don't they? The HBO app.
Well, the CW is free, so anything on there is free to watch. There's no... I can watch it if I wanted to right now.
Oh, so they don't just put it on the... Yeah, so I think they're just getting rid of this as their normal television thing, and they're just fully pivoting to streaming.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, why not? It's, yeah, I don't give a shit. Because they already give stuff to, like, Netflix and stuff, apparently.
Yeah, I don't really care either anymore. Since season 7 of The Flash, I'm out of it.
Yeah, so was Superman and Lois, Dan, the TV show that you were going to watch continuously, week to week, and then after one episode dropped.
It wasn't even that bad. I just ran out of time. And then CW...
You said it was good. You were like, oh, this is a really good show. I really
Yeah, it is
like
really
this.
good. And then I just
like...
I'd never had time to watch it. So maybe I'll go back to it one day. Maybe. But let's go on to, why does this exist? And we're going to talk about Pope Francis. And the Pope Francis...
Why does religion exist, Dan? Why does religion exist?
Well, there's a few arguments. We're not going to get into it. But Pope Francis has said, opting for pets over children is selfish and takes away from our humanity.
I think a dog is a better fucking thing than a child.
Now, I don't know if Pope Francis is aware of this, but there's a serious problem with overpopulation in the world.
And pedophiles in his organization.
Ah. That's why they want more children. They're running out.
Yeah. They're running out of children to fuck. So, he can't fuck a dog. That's bestiality. That's against Christianity. But fucking kids is part of Christianity.
Pope Francis isn't Christian, he's Catholic.
I don't give a shit. It's still his organization that's full of pedo. Because butt fucking a child is better than fucking a woman in the eyes of God.
I was going to say, do you want to, very quickly correct your sentence?
Well, someone can already cut that end bit out if they want to. Doesn't really matter. The internet's full of hellscapes anyway. Me saying something could get taken out of context anyway. I've already been cancelled on this show like 40 times. I ain't fussed.
I don't want to be cancelled. I want this to be a highly profitable podcast.
Yes. How much debt are we in on this podcast already?
About nearing
Considering
$1,000 at this point.
Oh, I'm way past $1,000.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll start up our OnlyFans account one day and we'll get it all back.
maybe.
Yeah, no.
Maybe.
Would you choose your dog over a child?
Yes.
When you actually have a child, would you still choose your dog over a child?
What? It's a big if, isn't it?
Well, if you do.
I probably would
you
still
not-
choose the dog.
Well, I'm going to take this clip, and if you ever do have kids, I'm going to send it to them. Just know your place, child. Dan has spoken.
They'll understand. I'll
As
make
they've
sure
been
of it.
taken
I'll make
away
sure
by
they know
Pope
that always give me
Francis.
disappointment to me.
Fair enough.
And the
We'll
dog
cut
can
that
never
clip
disappoint
out.
me.
Dog will be dead.
What?
What?
So the dog...
Pope's going to come and kill your dog because you're not having kids.
Nah, I'll have a dog.
Come out.
Don't
But yeah,
take
no,
that out of
I just find it
context.
funny that this dude is like, hey, look, we don't want people to have pets. We want them to have children. Because, breeding and supple young children for me to look after.
It doesn't look good when it is like nearly 8 million population right now.
Yeah. It's like, have more kids. Fucking put yourself into debt. I know dogs and shit are expensive, but they're not nearly as much debt as a fucking...
I don't understand why he said this, to be honest with you.
Because he's old and outdated. And he wants kids to fuck, Dan. We've
Joking
already
aside,
discussed
do you reckon at some point we're going to need to bring, like, the whole world might need to adopt the one person rule, the one kid rule?
No, because we're not poor. And so...
What
we
about
don't
China?
need-
They had a serious overcrowding problem. There wasn't houses. There's a problem
Yeah.
over here as it is.
But that's China, Dan. We don't care about that.
No, but we're having a problem. Like, it's struggling to get houses for us. I know you managed to get one, but even then it was barely.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think it's necessary. I don't know. People aren't really having many kids anyway. Like, people just don't need to. Because the only reason you have multiple kids is because of farmland, and you need people to support you financially. No, that is generally the reason why people had kids.
Yeah.
Because if you had kids, you could have them work on the farmland, do it, and if they died, you'd have another kid to replace that kid. It was just practical economics for them. That's why they had so many kids in the olden days. That's why Victorians had like 100 kids, because most of them didn't live past childhood anyway. So if you bank up a bunch of kids, then you're basically getting somewhere, and you're having a higher chance of one of them living long enough to be able to support you in death.
But nowadays, it's quite uncommon, I think, to have more than two.
Exactly. Like, I know barely anyone. Like, the most I see people now is having like 3 kids. And then if you see anyone with more, you're like, oh, okay. How the fuck do you support yourself financially?
Yeah.
But like, most people nowadays are having like 1 or 2 kids.
What's
Like,
the
we're
estimated cost for a kid now? It's like 200,000, isn't it? Per kid. It's more than that.
How?
I remember it being massive, and like a massive amount. A big number.
Okay, how much to look after a baby? Average monthly cost of a baby in the UK. Okay, this is a calculator. I don't think I'm going to be able to use this. The dad pregnancy timeline. What? 12,000 and 14,000 on a child-related expenses each year. So 12,000 to 14,000 times that by till they're 10. So that's 120,000 to 140,000.
In America, it's $233,000 to raise a child from birth to the age of 17.
There you go. See, I was saying till 10. So yeah, that's about right, yeah. And that's if you're able to afford 12,000 to 14,000.
Yeah.
Because you can cut costs. Kids don't need to eat.
No. Don't need a bed. Sleep on the floor. Don't need
Don't
toys.
need toys.
Do work.
Yeah.
Go work for a living. I know you're 5-year-olds. Do it anyway.
But yeah, I don't get why he needed to say any of this. 'Cause it's just like, yeah, pets are good. What's wrong with a pet? If you don't want a kid, fuck it. Why not?
Anyway.
We don't live in that time period anymore. We don't need to fucking have so many kids.
Anyway, we
I don't
talked
even know
about
if I'm
this
gonna
enough
have
now.
kids.
All right, let's move on. It's in the past. I'll
What,
just
about
say.
10 minutes worth?
It's in the past. Let's go on to we've lost the controller of the news, and we're talking about Riot Games.
We're not going to talk about Arcane, don't worry.
No. Although, I
We're
might do
gonna talk
later.
about a set.
Might do later. But Riot Games has agreed a $100 million gender disagreement settlement.
Yeah, so they were originally, I think, going to only pay about 10 million spread across all the people who were doing it, but then they fought back and they actually now have to pay 100 million. So, I mean, good work on the people who were fighting it, because it was like a really big thing and they were going to just pay 10 million, like between all the people who were affected and stuff like that. So,
as much as this is a good thing, what does this mean for Arcane? Because does that mean now Arcane's got 100 million less budget?
no, it's a big game, Dan. It's a big studio. They'll have money.
That is true, but just mildly concerned.
Like, they're not going to take it away from the things. They'll just they're not going to take it away from that. Don't worry, Dan. It'll be fine.
That's good. That's good. I want my Arcane season 2.
People are getting paid, and they can't afford to probably fuck up Arcane now because they'll want more money. They'll need Netflix to pay them a big chunk of money. Also, Netflix is probably just paying for the development cost of it anyway, so it's like...
Oh, yeah, true. I mean, I think they make so much money from League of Legends.
Yeah.
All those cosmetics.
Still never been tempted to play it after Arcane. I was just like, that doesn't...
That's good, because it's not a good game to get into.
Yeah, I see it's just very sweaty. And speaking of sweaty things, Dan, Sega has stalled its plans for NFTs following negative reactions. Who would have thought gamers don't like things that cost them money?
Hopefully, this is the start to a new revolution.
Well, we got more NFT news later, so...
I said the start, not the end. This is the very beginning.
No, it's there's a woman who yes, yeah, I forgot that story. Basically there was a woman who sold farts on the internet, who then had to have surgery because she caused herself to fart too much, so she had to get surgery. And so she's pivoting from selling her farts in a jar to selling NFTs of her farts.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a woman who does that now.
How can you force yourself to fart so much?
She basically was taking a load of food that caused her to fart, and then her intestines or something had like a rupture, and then she needed surgery. So she's basically stopping farting for her thing, and now she's selling her farts as a digital NFT.
How does that even work?
I don't know, but she's doing it, and people are buying it. So
You can't NFT a smell.
you get the legal right to one of her farts if, I guess, you ever meet her.
I was just thinking right now, what if we can have eventually sounds in games? Not sounds, sorry, smells in games.
Maybe.
Like you put
Maybe.
on the edge of your microphone, you put like a little sense thing in it, generate some smells.
Well, do you want to go into the future of gaming, Dan? Because PlayStation has revealed some of the specs for its PlayStation VR 2.
Yes, and this does intrigue me quite a bit.
They're fucking impressive stats, though.
They really are.
So basically, we've already seen the Sense controllers, but they now have a name. They have haptic feedbacks like the PlayStation 5 controllers. I think the PlayStation controllers are called the PlayStation Sense controllers as well. It's got for high fidelity visual experience, the PSVR 2 offers 4K HDR, 110 degree field of view, and a foveated rendering with an OLED display. Players can expect a display resolution of 2000 times 2040 per eye and smooth frame rate of 90 to 120 hertz.
Yeah, so that's 2 4K panels in each eye.
Yep. Headset-based controller tracking with inside-out tracking. PSVR 2 tracks you and controller through integrated cameras embedded in the VR headset, so you don't need a PlayStation camera anymore. Your movements and directions you look at are reflected in the game without the need for external camera. The PSVR 2 Sense technology combines eye tracking, headset feedback, 3D audio, and the innovative PSVR 2 Sense controllers to create an incredibly deep feeling of immersion. So basically, you're getting eye tracking, which I don't think any other headsets have.
No, I was wondering how that's actually going to play out. Because I don't see a situation where that's needed or how that's needed.
I think it's to help with the motion sickness, because I know that it's the disconnect between like the screen and your eyes. So when you look, the screen will then maybe move with your eyes rather than with your head.
Right, maybe.
So you're not... I think it's so that you don't have this stilted, you turn your head all the time to look in a direction. Maybe it's when your eyes look, so you don't have to turn your head to look somewhere. Because you know when you do those little movements with your eyes, you're looking all over the place and you're looking around and you're just noticing things. So maybe it will be that your eyes are getting tracked and the camera will smooth it out for you with the motion tracking. It'd be interesting to see. That's my at least interpretation of it. Also, it's a single wire setup, so it's USB-C.
Yeah, but who would have thought the USB-C at the front of the consoles for you know that's this. When you plug in your DualSense controller to charge, is it USB-C to USB-C cable?
Yeah? No, I think it's USB to USB-C.
So that means so the USB-C was always planned for the headset then.
I can't remember. I have a plug socket from. I think it is USB-C to USB-C. I just don't think I used it because I think I just put my phone charger with a USB-C to USB-C. So that's why my brain's thinking it's USB-C. When you unbox yours, when you eventually get one, you'll be able to tell us.
It'd be a little while. And then
it's got 4 cameras for the headset and everything. So, but yeah, it's looking fucking good.
In terms of buttons for the DualSense controller, it's actually a bit different compared to the last generation of sort of motion controllers.
Yeah.
The
So it's
4 circle, cross, triangle, and squares they're split across the both controllers.
Yeah, then you got the option button, the action button.
Yeah, and you've got the R1 and R2 and left side respectively.
L1 and L2.
Whereas previously you just had trigger buttons.
Yeah. So, hey. You got motion sensors, 6-axis motion sensing system, 3-axis gyroscope plus 3-axis accelerometer, capacity sensor, finger touch detection, IR LED position tracking.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how that's compared on games as well.
I'm really looking forward to this.
I really want to
This
try
was
it.
one of the main reasons I bought a PS5 was just because I was like, the PSVR 2, whilst the PSVR original one, which is sat up somewhere over there in my room, is compatible with the PlayStation 5, I'm just looking way more forward to the PSVR 2 because it just looks so good. I just want to see the headset because they didn't show off the headset. That was the only disappointing thing is they've shown off the controllers, but they haven't shown off the headset yet.
Have they announced a release date yet?
Nope, nothing. It'll be this year, I imagine.
I think it'll be
but we
next
did
year.
get a reveal of a game that's coming out exclusive. Horizon Call of the Mountain. So a new Horizon game, but for VR exclusively. And there's also rumblings that Steam and PlayStation have partnered to get Half-Life Alyx, that very impressive Half-Life game that's for VR on PlayStation. So that's a big win if that's true.
That's pretty interesting too.
But yeah, let's go on to Xbox.
Yep,
Because
Xbox.
Xbox is in the news with some real big changes.
Yeah, Xbox has now unveiled a nail polish collection.
Yeah.
And if you buy the nail polish collection, it unlocks Halo and Forza Horizon cosmetics.
Yeah. You're going to be doing this, Dan? I think it's like the Mountain Dew shit or the Doritos things when you just buy them. They're trying to get women. It's fair. It's fine. Whatever. If you don't like Mountain Dew and you want cosmetics for your characters in Halo and Forza, buy some nail polish.
Yeah, that's quite funny though. I just never imagined this was going to happen.
Dan, we've talked about the Gucci bag from Xbox. I mean, Xbox is just trying to tie themselves into anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm not surprised. It's like, fuck it. Why not? Go for it. You got different people with different needs and different tastes. Like, why do Xbox need to be exclusive Mountain Dew and Doritos? Why can't they be nail polish and Gucci bags?
Oh, it's not anything bad about it. I just didn't imagine they were ever going to do it. It just surprised the hell out of me. I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, do you want to talk about more surprising things, though? Speaking of VR and surprising things, Dan?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you want to talk weird, wacky, wonderful world?
Okay, yeah. I for some reason thought you could just bring up another topic that wasn't on this list.
No. Dan, do you want to talk...
Weird, wacky, wonderful world. Somebody trained a rat to play Doom 2 using a mini VR rig.
Yeah, it's crazy. This just popped up in my feed and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, there's a video as well. You can just see it. It's like a ball and the rat runs on it and then you can see the rat just doing like a bunch of stuff. It has a little hand to keep the rat in position so it doesn't move off the ball. It's crazy. But yeah, it's crazy. It's just weird. It's just So Toph trained his rat using sugar water as a reward, as well as puffs of air to the face and rear as negative inputs. Placing the rat on a giant scrolling ball in front of the screen, the engineer then presented the rat with various levels from the video game. When the rats ran into walls, they received puffs of air. When they continued on through the maze-like levels, they received sugar water. So, yeah.
It's pretty cute, not gonna lie.
So he had 3 rats doing this. Romeo, Carmack, and Tom could all run through the levels to some extent. Each of the 3 rats had different strengths and weaknesses, although it seems Romeo was the best overall. Romeo was so confident running in VR, in fact, that Toph was even able to spend 2 sessions with him training how to shoot in the game. About a minute into the video above, you can see the rat blowing away that baddie. So, Dan, the future of military is rats controlling our drones. That is the future that we are. Yes, we already use rats to experiment on for anything else. Why not?
The rat will soon become the number 1 species in the world. They will dominate all of us, and then we'll
so basically this. So this custom setup that he did. So he did it for about $2,000. So for $2,000, Dan, we could build a rat VR Doom setup thing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, by the way, it's not actually a headset strapped to the rat. It's a screen in front of a rat. It's not VR, but it's kind of like VR for a rat.
I think the most
they
VR
do actually have
part of it is just running in a ball.
Yeah, virtual reality for a rat. But they do actually have VR headsets for cows.
What's the purpose of that?
I think it's to trick the cow into thinking it's outside. It's kind of the bad side of VR.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Rather than let them outside, they put VR headsets onto them and make them think they're outside. So,
well, let's go on to some more upbeat news. In Tech Time and Shenanigans, and Alexa will soon blast off as the first voice assistant in space.
Yeah, I thought you might like this news story because you like space.
I do. This is actually quite interesting.
And we know you love Alexa because she loves to kill kids.
That was last week's episode. If you missed it, we have now got Jarvis in space, but it's Alexa.
Yeah, women of the power of space.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of cool. I hope it doesn't. Alexa, launch rocket. Oh no, not launch the nukes! Not launch the nukes! Okay.
So it says, say Alexa, take me to the moon.
My Alexa is going off downstairs. I think it heard me. Oh no, it's your Alexa.
Yeah, that's my one. I just did what it told me to do.
Right.
Yeah, say that phrase to your device and it will talk to you about this topic. About how they're going to try to make astronauts' lives easier.
Yeah. I mean, I was always expecting the future of, like, things, but I just... Alexa voice assistant is kind of iffy and whatnot, so I'm kind of like, how are they going to implement this? Are they going to give a better software version, like the highest level of, like, software that they have? Because the current version can't even turn on my lights properly and turn off my TV properly. So I'm like, it seems a bit dangerous when you're trying to do science, like rocket science. But like I said, Alexa, launch the rocket. Alexa, launch the nukes. It could be very dangerous.
I doubt that is exactly how it will work, but you know.
Do you reckon it's just for when they're peeing? Oh no, they can pee in their suits. It's fine. I'm just thinking, what use would they need to not have the hat? Maybe that's when they're doing like tools and stuff, like fixing things, and they need to shout to Alexa. Or maybe it's when they're outside the ship and they have the little headset in the thing so it can do things inside the ship.
Maybe, but you know, it's only going to work out time anyway.
Fuck, we're so close to HAL from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I don't know who that is.
It's, you know HAL. Oh, it's the evil. Okay, well, it's the evil robot that takes over the ship in 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know the red eyeball, like the red control panel eyeball thing.
Oh, that, yeah, that.
Yeah, that's HAL.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's called HAL. Yeah, that's from 2001: A Space Odyssey, Dan. Basically, we're getting that because Alexa might lock them out of the ship.
Hey, 2001: The Space Odyssey didn't come out in 2001.
No, shocking.
Yeah, 1968. That's a really old film.
Yeah, and it's already predicted most of the stuff that's going to happen. Also, it's referenced a lot in The Simpsons and Futurama.
Yeah, I remember that Howl bit. That's what that red dot thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you're learning about movies from ages ago that have influenced pop culture and science fiction for years. I'm glad you're finally learning about them, Dan, and not paying attention to our podcast at all whilst you're looking at your phone.
No, I'm just looking at. Apparently, there's a sequel to Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
The Final Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. This is all very fascinating, you doing all of this in your head whilst we're doing our podcast, and I have to explain what you're doing because you're not talking as the main host of this
There's
podcast.
many different Odysseys. Oh my god, there's so many different books here.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's a shock. Yeah. It's real fascinating stuff.
I'm talking
For
about
our
fascinating
list.
stuff. Oh look, it's a Tesla traffic jam in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Dad, do you remember that tunnel Elon Musk built under Las Vegas so that he could show off that his technology was the future of transportation and there'd never be a traffic jam again?
Yeah.
Turns out, if a lot of people use that tunnel, and because it's only a single lane, it gets quite busy and it gets blocked up because there's no way to go around. So you have to kind of just wait until the other cars in front of you go, you know?
It was so stupid.
Yeah. So, Dan, if, in Las Vegas, one of the busiest places on the earth, kind of a lot of people want to use your tunnel at the same time, at maybe like an event called CES where it's held in Las Vegas, and you want to show off your fancy new tunnel, a lot of people are going to want to go through there. And because you have to kind of back up a bit and get permission to go through and let other people go through and all of that stuff, and then you got to come out and do things, it takes a bit of time. And with a lot of people, that can cause traffic, in this tunnel that would never have traffic because it's all just meant to be amazing and stuff. The future. But yeah, it's basically a video.
Yeah, I was saying, someone put a video on Twitter, and so is this now open then?
Yeah, it's been open for ages.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy's like,
I don't
oh
know.
yeah, so if most people use it at the same time, it gets busy. I was like, so the whole purpose of it is
Useless.
useless, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone
like
put on a
tunnels.
2025, this is how most will die. A fixation in a Tesla traffic jam tunnel.
Yeah, basically it's so small. It's basically the size of a Tesla. Like, it's so narrow, and you basically can't open your doors. So if you wanted to get out, you couldn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
this
It feels like a health and safety nightmare.
Yeah. And also, the reason why Tesla's boring company can do tunnels very quickly is because they're about that size. They're not as big as regular tunnels, so they don't have to move as much crap out the way.
Yeah. Also, on the tunnels, like, don't they sort of make them as they're going along?
Yeah.
It's quite amazing technology, but still.
Well, that's how most tunnels have been built. They dig it out and then build it as they go.
Yeah,
He's just
but,
made it
aren't these
smaller.
ones, like, they're quicker, right? They can knock up these tunnels quite.
Yeah, but that's because they're smaller.
Yeah.
And then you have this issue where, hey, maybe you should make it a bus thing rather than just have everyone in their cars.
So stupid. Or like an underground.
It's just a rich man who doesn't understand public transportation and goes, why would I want to stand next to peasants on a bus?
It's almost
why would
like,
I want to-
the idea of having a subway is a really good idea.
Yeah, maybe having the richest man in the world design our things for the rich isn't really a good way to build the future of the world, because they forget about the poor people who can't afford their own car, and also you're not allowed to use gas cars. I think it's only Teslas or electric cars that can go under there. Yeah, it's
Apparently, if there's a
stupid and I hate
blockage, everyone's got to reverse out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the dumbest thing because there's no way out if anything goes wrong. So if your car breaks down in that tunnel, you're fucked, and everyone else is fucked.
Yeah,
The
it should at least
dumbest
be two
fucking-
lanes.
Yeah, but it's not because that's not how their tunneling system works, Dad.
No, yeah. Definitely two
Exactly.
lanes. But
The future, Dad. Single lane tunnels, all under Las Vegas, all getting clogged and not being able to get out. If it rains, you're fucked. No.
I think the only advantage
speaking-
of tunnels is that you can have loads of lanes stacked top each other.
Yeah.
But
It's useful, don't get me wrong, but the way he's trying to go about it is not.
no, also
We have
it's very
trains.
dangerous.
Yeah, we have trains. This is why we built trains. Just make trains electric, which most are. And hey, look, you solve your problem. Anyway, let's talk about the future, Dan, of smart TVs.
CES was this week. I love this convention. I want to go there one year, maybe next year.
Maybe we'll do a live podcast from CES.
Maybe we can do that next year. We can go travel.
Yeah. I am thinking of going to America at some point, so who knows.
Maybe this is a perfect excuse. So there's multiple different things announced. The PSVR 2 was actually one of the things.
Yep. But we'll start with Samsung, because why not? Because it's under dystopian tech, Dan.
Oh yeah, so it is.
Yeah. So Samsung promises groundbreaking new TV feature, NFT support. Yay!
Yay, good old.
I don't know why or how this will be implemented. I already had a problem with my TV because apparently if the storage on your TV gets filled to a certain point, it will cut out the sound.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I spent ages trying to figure out what the fuck the problem was. And I finally found a video, and it was just this guy, look, you got to delete some crap off your TV storage from like the apps that it auto-downloads, and then it will fix the sound issue. Yeah. It will fix your audio issue. Like, my speakers worked fine. My TV speakers still produce sound, like when you're scrolling through the menus and stuff. So I was like, why is it not... Like, every time I Chromecast something, my PlayStation didn't make a noise. Like, you could plug it in with the headset and it would make noises, but when you unplug the headset, the TV didn't make a noise. It didn't connect to the... It was connected to the Bluetooth, the speaker, but it just wouldn't produce sound.
Madness.
And so I was just like, how the fuck do I solve this? Because it's not anywhere. And then I just found one video that was just like, hey, look, Samsung's TVs download all of these apps for no real reason, and you can't delete some of them. So you have to delete all the ones that you can delete if you don't want them, and then it will fix your sound audio issues. So, hey, £2,500 TV and about a 4 gigabyte memory. Who would have thought that would fill up fast? But yeah, NFTs. Don't like them, don't want them, don't need them on my TV. There's already ads on my £2,500 TV.
Oh yeah, but you know, they don't make enough money from that much money. So they've got to have adverts as well.
Yeah. Don't like it. I'm just glad I don't have one of the ones that will play an ad over your stuff if you're watching anything. Because there are TVs that do that. It's like, hey, look, you're watching something. We'll cut that and play an ad in front of you, even though you're watching a show that has ads. It's like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, NFTs. I don't know how they're going to implement it. I don't want them to implement it. I hope this goes away and they don't do it. But like, I don't even know how they're going to do it. Like, is it just going to be the Samsung logo and you can buy it and then it will be a different logo so you can have it display on your TV when you're out and about and you want to show guests your NFT?
Maybe that's how.
Because they do have because they have an ambient mode on their TVs where you can make them look like pictures and photos and stuff like that. So I imagine what they'll be is those will be NFTs, and it'll be like the most expensive one you can get. And I will not buy it because I never put my TV in that mode because it's pointless. And why would you want to have your TV on when you're out burning electricity?
I think ambient mode could be useful if you've got like a house party or something, like a dinner party. You could put like on some.
Yeah, it's fine, but I'll never use it. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use it. It's like, oh, I turn my TV off. Cool. I don't even think you can get Alexa to turn on ambient mode. So it's like, Alexa, turn on ambient mode for my TV. I never tried. Maybe I should try. Who knows? Maybe after this, I'll go downstairs and ask Alexa to turn on ambient mode and see what it does.
But let's carry on to more CES news. Asus has announced its first flexible screen laptop with a snap-on keyboard.
This looks really good. I am getting my Fold 3 soon. It's coming. I'm going to get it. It's on. It's going to be here. Yeah,
so Asus, they have had shown this off for a while, but I think they're only now going on
sale. It's all concepts. This is like an actual one that you can buy.
Yeah.
But it's basically it's just it's a laptop with no keyboard that is a folding screen. So it folds and it's bigger than a normal phone. So it's a 12.5-inch booklet.
This is probably one of the few uses for foldable technology.
Yeah, it's called the Asus ZenBook 17 Fold OLED.
I would
is
actually get
essentially-
this. This actually looks pretty cool.
Oh, I think there's two different... No, wait, hang on. It's essentially a 17.3-inch OLED tablet that folds up into a 12.5-inch booklet. It is quite a bit bigger than a 13.3-inch Lenovo X1 Fold I saw last... So, okay, there have been other ones. Yeah, I thought Lenovo did one. So it's quite big, and then you can fold it out and make it like a monitor, and then you have a little keyboard that you can have as well. So if you don't want a little screen with a keyboard at the bottom, you can fold it out to a big screen, have your keyboard that comes with it, and then boom, get to work. It's sick. I love this idea. I always thought laptops were the best implementation for folding.
Yeah.
Because
It makes sense.
like, it's a big product that you want to be able to, like, for moving around, if you're doing day-to-day work and you want a big monitor, but you don't want to drag that around, something that folds down smaller, and then also the keyboard goes in between the screens when you fold it down.
Which means it's
So you
not
don't
as
have-
much of a tight
Gap.
not as tight bend, so it won't damage the screen
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah, it's clever. I like it. Also, it's practical because then it's just a sandwich, and it's they're thought of everything. It's just like, oh, that's cool.
Talking about things that are clever and practical, Disney has made a patent for an augmented virtual world simulator that does not need a headset or glasses.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm just like, how's that gonna work? Because
Yeah,
is
there
it just
isn't
gonna be
very
like?
much-
Is it gonna be like a green screen thing, like the volume for like the Mandalorian thing, where you're just in a room, and then everything goes around you, and then as you walk, like kind of a VR world, but rather than you having a headset on, the world just morphs around you, essentially. Just like, I don't know.
Yeah, so normally when
Very-
you do this, you have like a headband display or just something goes around your head.
Glasses,
Yeah, but
headset.
there's nothing. It's just there. So it's probably some sort of kind of projector thing, but you can sort of suspend something maybe?
Or they've partnered with Elon Musk and put Neuralink in, and then it's going to put stimulation into your brain that makes you think you're seeing stuff.
Maybe, but apparently it will be used in the real-world theme park rides, where multiple users
Yeah.
will be able to simultaneously experience a 3D virtual world without needing to wear any peripherals.
Yeah. Well, this is just a pattern. There's no actual tech behind it. Yeah, we don't think. I mean, they could have been working on this for years. Disney's theme park division does do a lot in terms of like advancements in tech. It's quite scary, to be honest. Like the Hall of Presidents and stuff like that is quite a big advance for AI and androids and stuff like that, and like robot stuff and that. And then there was that swinging Spider-Man experience thing that they had a couple months ago, where that robot that does the
that
tricks
one,
and
yeah,
stuff.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like they do some advancements, quite good advancements. But yeah, I'm just interested. I haven't been to Disney World or Disneyland. I've been like once when I was a kid, but I don't even remember that. 'cause
I've
I was like
never been,
2.
but never know. Maybe I can go there with my pets.
Is there one near Las Vegas? It's California, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not near Las
California.
Vegas.
No, I know, but you do that. It's that side of America, isn't it?
I think Las Vegas is
No,
more central.
What am I thinking? San Francisco. Am I thinking of San Francisco?
You're thinking San Francisco. San Francisco's on that coast.
Yeah, I'm thinking San Francisco. California's down by New York, isn't it? Like that area.
No.
It's on the East Coast.
California's like completely the opposite side to New York.
That's what I was saying. You were like, no, it's not California.
I thought you said it's next to New York, and I was like, no, what?
No. I was saying it was near Las Vegas. On that
New York's
side.
not near
'cause-
Las Vegas.
No. Fucking California. Because there's California Disney World. Or Disney World California.
What are you trying to say to do with New York and California?
I wasn't saying anything about New York.
You said New York.
No, I was saying is New York on the opposite side
Yes.
of California. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
And then I was saying it's near to where Las Vegas is. Because it's on Las Vegas is on the left side, where California is.
Oh, yeah, it is. Actually, yeah, you're right. It is.
Yeah, because it's Nevada, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Nevada, yeah.
Yeah, and Nevada is near California.
To be fair, it's fairly near LA.
Oh my god. Okay, well, you can see our American geography is top notch on this podcast.
It's about a 3-hour drive from LA to Las Vegas.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So We can go to CES, and then we can go to fucking
Is
Disneyland.
CES always in Las Vegas?
Yeah, it's always in Las Vegas. It's the biggest thing, like biggest tech convention to come to Las Vegas every year.
Well, maybe that's a thing for your YouTube channel next year.
Maybe.
How warm is it?
What,
in
my real
Las
life
Vegas?
one. I don't know, Dad. It's America, so it's probably cold at the moment. Can we
January's
not do
about
this?
15 degrees.
It's warmer than here, which is 3 degrees.
Yeah. we go over there in like shorts, but like, this is nice.
No, we go to Australia to do that.
I could definitely do shorts in 15 degrees.
I can do shorts in 15 degrees, but I wouldn't. I had to do shorts in 30 degree. That was the only time I ever wore shorts.
Next story. Razer and Fossil have teamed up to make the Gen 6 smartwatch.
Yeah, more Razer wearables. Gotta love that.
Yes, apparently
This looks like a kid's watch, though.
it does
I'm
not look
sorry.
good at all.
It's just like your basic like Casio watch, but with the plastic straps.
Apparently
Like-
it's using Google's Wear OS software. It's got Bluetooth 5.0 and it's got advanced health and fitness tracking, as they all say they have. It's basically
Yep.
going to be the same as every other watch going around.
Yeah, but it will cost you a couple £100 as well.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's dropping, well, just before this podcast gets released.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want
See,
it,
I
go.
would wear it if they didn't have a bright green strap.
I imagine you can change the strap. You can.
They have a black one, but I'm like the one that they probably want you to wear is the bright green one, and I'm like, no, why would I want that?
I wouldn't mind that. I've got some bright green things. I got bright green shoes.
Okay, the battery life's pretty good. Cut down your cooldown time and charge up 80% in just a little over 30 minutes.
That's pretty useful. That's like the shower.
Yes. You take a 30-minute shower?
Not on purpose, but yes.
What the fuck are you doing in the shower?
I have
for 30
absolutely no
minutes?
idea. I just kind of just zone out in the shower. What are you doing? No, stop it. That's not what I do. I just kind of relax.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure.
I do. I kind of relax.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm doing that, it'll take 4 or 5 minutes.
Uh-huh. Well, on top of the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Your parents must hate you. Their water bill must be so fucking high if you're spending 30 minutes in the shower. Showers are meant to be the quick one. How long do you take in a bath?
Oh, like 5
A
minutes.
day?
I hate
You
baths.
do the
I hate them because you get cold. It's horrible.
you do the complete opposite of what you're meant to do for the timings of those things.
Yeah, but I don't feel relaxed in a bath. I feel relaxed in the shower.
Yeah, but a shower is not for relaxing. A shower is to get clean quickly.
Yeah, but I just zone out. I get so relaxed in the shower.
Okay. Right. Okay. No. Bad. Stop it. Take shorter showers.
I'll try.
Your parents
I'll try.
will think you're doing what I was suggesting.
But the BMW has now announced they've got a car that can change its color using
Oh, yes. The BMW. I love that brand.
the BMW. The BMW can change color.
Yes.
This BMW can change color in completely. It's not even just part of it. Completely change color using something called e-inks.
Yeah. This is kind of cool. So it could go from black to white or white to black. Or grey. Like, there's no actual color spectrum. It's just black or white. But if you're escaping from the cops and you need to get away, you want to change your car's color and so that they don't track you in terms of the visual aspect. Boom. Your car's now black. Your car's now white.
Yeah, true.
It's pretty cool.
It is cool, and it's just also parts of the car can change as well, not the whole thing.
Yeah, so it's basically Rorschach's mask from Watchmen.
Yeah,
can do that to you.
That's that, yeah. I'll try to think who you're talking about. Yeah, it is.
Well, it's the guy with the mask that can change colors, Dad. Or not colors, the visual aspect of it from black to white. Well, there actually are real masks like that. They're not as, like, advanced as the movie because the movie is using CGI, but people have actually made masks that look like that and do that face warping.
But the annoying thing about this car is that the petrol cover doesn't change color.
Oh, it also looks ugly as fuck. It's
It's a
really not
BMW. What do you
looking
expect?
nice. BMW have done some nice looking cars, but not many.
Very few in terms of number of cars they have.
They're more like big, fat, chunky cars, and I don't like big, fat, chunky cars.
Also, their grill is getting worse.
I look forward to the... I like how electric cars have to have a grill even though they don't need it. Like,
Do they have to?
No, they don't. That's what I mean. They don't have to have a grill if they're an electric car, but they still put it on there.
Because they don't.
Yeah, but Mercedes do. Mercedes are still putting a grill on their car even though they don't need to, just because people visually think, oh, that's a car. It's got a grill on it.
As well.
Yeah, it's weird. They should put a little TV on there that goes, fuck yourself. You don't have an electric car. You're killing the planet.
Maybe. But let's go back
over to Samsung.
to
You want to talk about
the
the future of your house, Dan?
This is pretty cool. It's like the Jarvis robot thing again.
Yeah, so basically Samsung unveiled a bunch of little robots that they're maybe planning on using or building. I don't know. It's an animated thing, so I don't know if these are real things, but it's basically a little robot that's like a little pillar thing with a little robot arm that's meant to help you around. And then they're showing off their TVs as well with a little virtual assistant guy talking to you. And then there's a robot that's just a pillar with a little disc that pops up that's a screen, and you can use it for business meetings and as you walk around your house. They're interesting. They show the fucking thing opening your oven and taking out the food, which I just don't think's gonna be a thing. But they kind of look like Star Wars robots. And yeah. Dan, you haven't watched episode 2 of Boba Fett. You missed the Boston Dynamics robots.
Oh no, I did hear about that.
Yeah, they're just they basically put Boston Dynamics robots in Star Wars.
So I'm confused.
Like
if this is a concept or is this talking them like something like the metaverse?
No, I think this is a physical thing that they want to do, but I don't think it's built yet, or they're gonna build it. I think they're looking at... CES is just a lot of concepts that people want to do. But they show it playing with your dog. So Pope Francis is already going to hate this. But yeah, it's basically just what your home could look like in the future if they ever do decide to build this. But I swear we had Samsung building robot dogs as well. So I'm kind of like, interesting. But I just hate this stupid little fat fucking... gigantic robot thing that they have that has only a little display that pops up, and its entire purpose is just for you to talk to people on a meeting as you walk around your house.
Yeah, also, I don't think this would work in UK households.
No.
Definitely
it's for an apartment. Yeah.
The UK households, most of them are pretty small.
We have so many stairs. Yeah, we have a lot of stairs.
Yeah, we're quite compact, a lot of stairs, try to fit out a lot in a small place.
Nah.
Especially the new houses, anyway. Housing crisis.
Mm-hmm. Gotta give all the poor people something to live in.
But with all the good news and new inventions, the old things have got to make way. And this is the end of BlackBerry. Your BlackBerry dies today.
Yep. Well, a couple days ago.
Yes. Yeah, well, sorry.
So if your BlackBerry still works and it suddenly dies because we said so, that you can blame on us. But if it was dead before, you can't blame it on us. But yeah, basically the software that BlackBerry used on their devices is no longer going to be supported. So if it breaks, and they're not going to fix it.
BlackBerry's gone?
Yep.
This company
Once
exists.
the biggest fucking phone company in the world until Apple brought out the iPhone.
Yep, and then everyone was like, well, that sucks. And then BlackBerry, they tried to continue. And then they made the mistake. And then they're like, okay, no, look, we can do the same as iPhone.
Well, no, they were so dead hell-bent on putting a keyboard on an Android device with a touchscreen.
Yeah.
They really wanted that keyboard to stay.
But nope.
They died. It was a shame. But hey, they managed to save Sony for a little bit when they got hacked, because Sony had to switch from using all the current phones that they were using to BlackBerry because their cybersecurity was so good. So, but yeah. I mean, BlackBerry, I like BlackBerry. My brother had loads of them when we were growing up. And I really wanted a BlackBerry when I was too young to have a phone at the time, so I wasn't allowed one. And then when I did finally get a phone, it was the touchscreen era, so it was a shame. Well, I had a flip phone that was like, the classic like flip up buttons. You had to type. You had to push the button several times if you wanted one letter that sort of keyboard. And then I went to a touchscreen, and then I went Samsung S1 Ultra or whatever it was, some version, and then I haven't switched from Samsung since. I have had Honors and other phones. I've had an iPod Touch.
Yeah, I've had iPod,
I think.
iPod Touch. I had 4th and 5th
I still
gen.
have it. It's in here somewhere. Here it is. I found it.
It looks
The
pretty.
only-
Why is it so cracked up?
Because it's the only device that I've ever owned that I have cracked the screen on.
And,
And
it
it's
just
the only
happens to
Apple
be
product. Yeah, it's the only Apple product I've ever owned as well. And the funniest thing is, when I broke the screen on this device, I was holding my phone, and I dropped them at the exact same time, and on the exact same floor. And the only one that broke was the iPhone, the iPod,
Apple.
whereas my phone didn't. And that had a screen and everything, and it didn't break. And I dropped the phone from a little bit higher up because I was trying to catch the iPod because I was like, no. And I kind of, I was taking them out of my pocket, and I had both in my pocket, and then I clipped my pocket, and they both just fell out my pocket.
And then our final news of the week is the Nvidia and AMD battle continuing. Nvidia has
For the
announced
cheapest graphics cards.
well, they also
And
announced
the most
cheapest
expensive graphic cards.
and the most expensive. Nvidia has announced the RTX 3050 graphics card, which is $250. And they've also announced a graphics card called 3090 Ti, as they pronounced it, or as any sane person would call it, Ti, as $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
Which
one you gonna get, Dan?
I get the $5,000 one, but I get a scalp price, so it should be $12,000.
See, if this graphics card will fit in my PC, I will try and buy this one.
What, 3050?
Yeah.
Well, you might not buy the AMD, because the AMD has announced the RX Radeon
6,500
Thank you, XT.
XT.
Retailed at $199. This is the product that is designed to get you away from your old GPUs.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, hey, look, cool.
And AMD also announced their new CPU architecture. They released the new mobile platforms, and they announced a new 3D cache Ryzen 7,
Yes.
which allegedly has fantastic performance. And they did a little tease for later on in the year, because in the second half of the year they're going to announce the Zen 4 CPUs, which will make use of the new AM5 boards. Basically means the next PC everyone builds, for AMD platform at least, will be a whole new build.
Yes.
Also, did you see
Nvidia is...
Carol?
No, go on.
I was going to say, did you see the power requirements of the high-end Nvidia card?
Very, very high.
Yeah, it's 1250.
Yeah.
Do you know how much a US plug socket can provide?
Less than that. I know, because our providers, we build for American companies, and their power supply is very bad.
Well, it's not less than that, but it's not far off. It's 1,400 they can do.
Yeah. It's
not looking good, is it? Because we're getting to the territory now where computer parts aren't going to work in America.
Yeah, American, or they'll have to like supplement it somehow, like or lessen the graphics, the quality of the product over in America.
I seriously don't understand why America doesn't use 240.
Because of Tesla, Edison, and the other guy, and their battle for the current. Watch The Current War.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good
know
movie.
about
It
that,
has
yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Holland, Nicholas Holt, and other people. It's fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, the only people to really use 110 is the America side of things. Everywhere else use 240 or 200.
Well, America's power grid is bad because they drop to like 100. They can
Really?
drop they can drop quite low. Like, we have to build our machines to specifically run at low voltage because in America their power consumption is so wavy. Our things need to work at a lower voltage if it does drop at any moment. It's funny. I love America. America's such a weird caricature of the rest of the world.
Yes, and they also use Fahrenheit still.
Yeah. One of the only other countries in the world to do it.
Isn't there 3 that use it?
Yeah. And the others are very things.
And if you argue with someone pro Fahrenheit, they're like, oh yeah, but it makes more sense for your body temperature to be not 0, because that's your body limit. And I was thinking, but how can you have a limit that's exponential? It doesn't make sense. It's just...
It's crazy. But that's enough news, Dan.
That is.
Should we go on to recommend do and recommend don't?
Yep. Have you watched anything this week?
Well, fun fact I just found out, Dan, from Uber Facts on Twitter. Malcolm in the Middle premiered on January 9th, 2000, 22 years ago. And guess what I've been watching this week?
2.5 Men.
Yeah. No, I've been rewatching Malcolm in the Middle for like the last week. Because I was just like, I watched Futurama because I hadn't seen Futurama for ages. And I hadn't seen Malcolm in the Middle when it got put on Disney Plus. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, that's great. Because I've been trying to find fucking Malcolm in the Middle on like a streaming service for ages. And it was just never on anything. And then it got put on Disney Plus. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Because I was going to watch it on Channel 4, their All 4 app thing.
Yeah.
But then it would have ads. And then they took it off. And I was like, oh, god damn it. I was going to watch it. And then they added it to Disney Plus. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'll rewatch it. So I've been enjoying that.
The mouse conquers all.
Yeah, it was just a happy coincidence that I was scrolling through and it just happened to come up with that fun Uber fact that it came out 22 years ago from today, which really scares me. But yeah, it's a good show. I do enjoy it. I would recommend it to anyone who wants to go back.
And I'm going to recommend, if you haven't already watched it, rewatch Arcane.
If you haven't already listened to us blabbering on about how good it is
so
for the last... since it released, basically.
This weekend, I got some time and I rewatched Arcane, and the first 3 episodes, which I thought were quite boring when I first watched it, I actually really loved. And on my rewatch, they were my favorite episodes.
You're like, yeah, they build up the world, and they give you so much to what the characters are, and then all of the things that happen in those 3 episodes have consequences.
Yeah, there's so much. I thought it was so much better on rewatch, which means that I love the show even more now. So excited for season 2. There was a little bit of a leak which said it may be this year, end of this year.
It's not going to be.
I doubt it very much because it's going to be good quality.
It took 7 years to develop the first season.
I reckon it'll be next year, though. I don't think it'll be longer than next year.
It'll be end of next year, probably.
It depends when they start working on it.
Well, they've probably already started working on it.
Yeah, I imagine they started like way before.
No, yeah, they would have had a plan for what it was doing. It's just whether on Netflix was cancelling it. That was the only hindrance to them. They would have probably still had a plan. They would have still probably been working on it. But yeah, I'm really hoping.
Anyway, that's the show over and done with now. Thank you for listening. Go check out last week's TBO of...
Best and Worst.
Thank you. Our recap of 2021, our awards.
Yeah, our awards for best movies, TV shows. We did a gaming bit, but neither one of us had played many games, so it was kind of short. But we were just talking about the movies that we watched, the TV shows that we watched, all of the best stuff that came out last year. Because last year was a really good year for content and movies and stuff like that, and TV. But yeah,
if
you want to hear our thoughts on that,
and we'll see you next week.
Peace out, everybody. Goodbye.